أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهم إنه هو السميع العليم ثم بدا لهم من بعد ما رأوا الآيات ليسجننه حتى حين ودخل معه السجن فتيان قال أحدهما إني أراني أعصر خمرا وقال الآخر إني أراني أحمل فوق رأسي خبزا تأكل الطير منه نبئنا بتأويله إنا نراك من المحسنين صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. Continuing the Tafseer of Surah Yusuf, and we reached the point where Zulaykha, the wife of the minister of Egypt, wanted to prove to the women of Egypt and Misr, where the rumors spread that she was seducing him, and therefore she wanted to prove a point that what's the reason behind me seducing him, and you may be mocking me, ridiculing me, talking about me, but I'm now going to give you a reason why that I have seduced him and I've gone madly in love with him. So what she did, she invited them for a meal, and when she invited them for a meal, then she ordered Yusuf ﷺ to come out, and soon they seen how handsome Yusuf ﷺ was. Subhanallah, instead of cutting the fruit or the food that they were supposed to eat, they cut off the fingers. And they exclaimed suddenly, هذا إلا بشر, that this is not a human being. Malakun Kareem, this like they said, noble angel. How handsome he is. So then their rai and the opinion changed regarding Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ and regarding her seducing him. That now we understand, okay, anyone would fall madly in love with someone as handsome as Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ. I also mentioned that she had so much trust and reliance that she knew that when she called these women that they're going to change their opinion, they're going to change their mind as soon as they see the beauty and how handsome Hazrat Yusuf is. Similarly, do we have that much trust in the beauty of Islam? Those people who reject Islam, tarnish Islam, many accusations regarding Islam, and yes, we'll have answers, but one great way to respond to that is to show them the beauty of Islam in our own character, in our own akhlaq, in our own lifestyle. If we live according to the beautiful teachings of Islam, that itself will be a form of da'wah. But today we ourselves, unfortunately, may Allah Ta'ala forbid and protect us, we doubt Islam, we doubt the beauty of Islam, we don't have the true teachings of Islam in our own lives, and that's the reason why, unfortunately, people are not attracted. So basically, our lifestyle should have an impact on people's lives. And our lifestyle meaning our Islamic lifestyle. Because remember, we're Muslims first. For us, Islam comes first, everything else comes after. So therefore, if you have that much reliance on the beauty of Islam, then definitely, it will be easy for them to come into the fold of Islam, be easy for them to accept, and all these objections that they have, inshallah, slowly will be eradicated. But again, like I mentioned earlier, do we as Muslims have that much reliance and trust upon the beauty of Islam, just like Zulaykha has so much trust in the beauty of the Yusuf ﷺ, so she called all those women. As soon as they seen him, they completely changed their opinion, and now we understand why you went after him. Look how handsome he is. Similarly, there should be a time when we present Islam to the people and to Muslims, non-Muslims, whoever they may be. And then as soon as they see the beauty of Islam in our character, in our lifestyle, they will say as well, no, this is the true religion. This is the beautiful religion. This is Islam. This is the way of life. This is the life that I need to choose for myself, for my family, for my children. This is the lifestyle I need to choose for my community, my society, for my family. But today, unfortunately, we ourselves as Muslims don't have the true understanding of Islam ourselves, and we underestimate the great beauty of Islam which Allah Ta'ala has laid down in every command of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, in every aspect of the Sharia. There's so much beauty, there's so much wisdom, so much khair, there's so much goodness. Islam is full of goodness, full of balai, full of khair, full of afiyat. It's about us to understand it ourselves. So obviously Yusuf ﷺ was aware of what Zulaykha intended to do. So he made a dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, "Oh my Rabb, the prison is dearer to me than that towards which these women call me. So I'd rather go to prison than go towards her and commit adultery and zina and fornication." And then he also mentioned, remember this is the Nabi making dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ, if you do not avert their part from me, أَصْبُ إِلَيْهِنَّ, I shall incline towards them. Allah, such a Nabi, a prophet of Allah, yet he's still saying, look how humble he is, subhanAllah, that if you do not protect me, O Allah, then I shall incline towards this as well. So at all times we should seek protection from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. أَوَاكُمْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ, and become of the ignorant ones. فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ, so his Rabb accepted his prayer. فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنَّ, and averted their part from him. إِنَّهُ وَالسَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, undoubtedly he is all hearing, all knowing. This dua that Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ made, as mentioned here in this verse, is just not related to Yusuf ﷺ, but it's for all of us. The Qur'an Kareem, the stories that are related in the Qur'an Kareem are for us to learn a lesson from. It's not a storytelling book, but Allah Ta'ala mentions certain incidents of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, Hazrat Ebrahim alayhi salam, and the whole incident of Yusuf alayhi salam, but the purpose is to learn a lesson. Inna fi dhalika la'ibratan li ulil absar. So we learn a lesson, and that's the most important thing. Anyway, so it's not just related to Yusuf alayhi salam, but whenever we are inclined towards sin, me and you are inclined towards sin and guna, that is the time we should seek protection of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala from that sin. Immediately. Soon as we incline towards guna, immediately we turn towards Allah. This is the Nabi turning towards Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Nabi is masoom. They cannot even commit a sin. They cannot carry out any guna and sin. Yet, subhanAllah, they turn towards Allah even in these difficult situations. So similarly, me and you, we are covered in head to toe in guna and sin. So similarly, whenever we in any sort of situation where the shaitan, our nafs, our desires are luring us towards committing that sin, and there's a great opportunity to commit that sin, no matter how grave it may be, there's no one watching, there's no way of anyone catching us or being caught. But at that time, a true mu'min, a sincere believer, seeks protection in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala from that sin. May Allah Ta'ala make us among those people who at the time when we are led into guna and sin, we seek protection of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Further on, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala makes a mention, verse 35. One thing I'd like to mention here, Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ, the dua that he made, "Oh Allah, the prison is dearer to me than that towards which these women call me. You'd rather go to prison." It's mentioned in Allama Qurtubi Rahimullah's Tafseer. He states that Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ made this dua to Allah. Allah told him, "Oh Yusuf, you have yourself asked to be imprisoned. You have yourself asked to be imprisoned. If you had asked for safety and afiyat, I would have granted that to you as well." So it is learned from here that a person should never ask Allah to resolve his problem in a specific manner. In a specific manner. Meaning here, Hazrat Yusuf said, "I'd rather go to jail." Oh Allah, rather send me to jail. I don't want to do this. Though his intention was sincere. But here from this, Allama Qutbi rahmatullahi mentions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him, if you yourself has asked to be imprisoned, if you have asked for safety and afiyat even from the prison itself, we have granted that to you as well. Allah. So never ask Allah to resolve a certain issue of ours, a problem of ours in a specific manner. But actually one should merely request to Allah to deliver him or her from that problem. Ya Allah Ta'ala grant us ease. Allah Ta'ala protect us from this problem. Allah protect us from this difficulty that I'm going through. And then Allah Ta'ala will do so and accept our prayer in the most befitting manner, the manner which will be appropriate for us. And when a person presents a solution to Allah, then sometimes he could be placing himself in undue difficulty. That's why there's a hadith reported by Imam Muslim in his Sahih. As Anas Allah reports that Rasulullah once visited an ailing Muslim who is going through a lot of pain, bimar, ill, whose voice had become extremely weak and his body became frail. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam recommended that he continues making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thereupon he said that he always prayed to Allah to grant him the punishment for his sins in this world rather than in the next. What dua is he doing? I made dua to Allah that Allah punishes me for the sins that I've committed in this world rather than in the hereafter. Hearing this, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam exclaimed, Subhanallah, what's this? What sort of dua? Remember, Sahaba were also learning from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So then Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam then asked him, what resistance do you have against this punishment? Meaning if this punishment was to come, how are you going to protect yourself? Are you going to be able to bear it? Allah. Many of us do this. Oh Allah, punish me here. Allah, do this to me here. I don't want anything. You have to be very, very careful. So then Prophet said, why did you rather not pray and make dua to Allah Ta'ala in this manner? Go Allah, grant me the good of this world and the good of the hereafter. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ, and save me from the punishment of the fire. Why ask for punishment even in this world? Because what guarantee do we and you have that we'll be able to bear the punishment in the dunya, let alone the akhirah? And why restrict Allah's mercy just for the hereafter? Allah is more merciful. So instead of asking for punishment, Prophet was saying, punishment in the dunya, why did you make this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Oh Allah, grant me goodness and khair in this world, and goodness and khair in the hereafter, and save me from the punishment of the fire of hell. Similarly, another hadith is reported, another Sahabi prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him patience. Oh Allah, grant me sabr. Grant me sabr. Grant me patience. Thereupon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you have prayed for difficulty. You have made dua for difficulty and hardship. Why? Because patience is only needed when there's some sort of difficulty to me. So now pray for safety. What I'm saying? Don't pray for sabr, don't pray for difficulty, pray for safety. Subhanallah. That's why Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, ask Allah for forgiveness and afiyah. You want to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask for maghfirat and ask for afiyah, ask for safety. Subhanallah. That's why many people, they come to ulama and they ask, I've got this issue, I've got that issue, I've got this problem. Can you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's a specific dua. Don't make it specific. Just say, Nas'alullahu al-afiyah. Nas'alullahu al-afiyah. Oh Allah, we ask from you for safety, for ease. That means safety and ease in everything we do. In every issue, in every project, if any calamity, any musibat, any type of difficulty, oh Allah, grant us forgiveness. Oh Allah, grant us afiyah. Grant us ease. Grant us safety. In that way, a person will be protected from all kinds of harms and difficulties and hardship. Okay? So sometimes asking for a specific dua, rather make it very general. Oh Allah, grant us goodness in this world and in the hereafter. Oh Allah, grant us afiyah, grant us ease, grant us safety and protection. Further on, Allah Ta'ala makes a mention, ثُمَّ بَدَا لَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا رَأَوُا الْآيَاتِ جُنُونَهُ حَتَّى حِينٍ. Then after reviewing the signs, it occurred to them that they should imprison him for a while. What were the signs? After looking at all the aspects, the family of Zulaykha, the minister, those people who were involved in the government at that time in Misr, in Egypt, they thought, looking at all these issues that is going on, and it's spread in the society, in the community as well, accusation against the government, against Zulaykha and the minister and everyone. So they thought that normally what happens when there are a lot of accusations against the government, against the rulers, what happens? Slowly they resign. And slowly they resign. So now to get away from that, what they thought, that let's just blame it on Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And the best way is just send him to jail. So looking at all the other aspects, they thought it would be appropriate to send him to prison. In that way, we will not get burnt down, we will not get blamed, and just put the blame on him. Even though that, remember, the minister accepted the fact that it was the ghalti and the mistake and the error, Allahu Akbar, of his wife. Yusuf was not to blame, because that small child, infant, who cried out, that it was her to blame. Despite that, he did a U-turn. Why? To protect the honor, protect the izzah. Allahu Akbar. Because the word was going around in the whole of society, in the whole of the city, that is happening in the minister's family. All this is happening. So now when that happens, you have to, protect yourself. So immediately they thought, looking at all these signs here, best way, instead of resigning, because the kursi and the chair is very, very important, leadership is very, very important. So therefore, just blame on Yusuf alayhi wasalam. Because who's going to listen to him? He's a slave. That's why it's very easy to put the blame on those people who people do not have much support. Very easy. We tend to see that in many cultures, many societies. Who gets the blame at the end of the day? That weak one. Who gets the blame at the end? The person who has no support. And it's very, very easy. A great scholar would say the highest level of cowardness is when a person puts a blame on someone else because of his shortcomings. Because of his own shortcomings, he puts a blame on someone else. That is the highest level of cowardness. So anyway, that was happening at that time as well. So they thought, he's only a slave, who's going to listen to him? Just put him in, let's blame it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that, inshallah. That's very, very important. Nothing wrong. If we make a mistake, we accept. But then to blame and put it on someone else, especially those who are weak, vulnerable, those people who don't have people to support them, Allah. But remember, we may get away with it in this world, but not in the hereafter. Not in the hereafter. Allah. Remember what happened to Hazrat Yusuf thousands and thousands of years ago. Allah mentions in the Qur'an Kareem. Subhanallah. We go through it every day. Subhanallah. And it would continue. We'll go through the tafseer and the commentary right until the day of Qiyamah. It's all a lesson for us. This lesson of how our social interaction should be. Now, Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ is sent to prison. And when he's sent to prison, two other young men were also sent to prison. What was the reason behind them being sent to prison? Inshallah, mentioned in the next dars next week. But Yusuf ﷺ was now actually showing his exceptional character, his behavior in the prison. Subhanallah. Lofty character. And it was having not only an impact on the prisoners, but also on the officers as well. Also on the officers as well. But actually, he'll be looking after everyone there in the prison. Whoever is ill, will go to them, meet them, console them, comfort them, do whatever he can for them. Allahu Akbar. Actually, the prison became a markas of tarbiyat. The prison became the markas of tarbiyat. Markas of mention. Allah. Just think, normally prisons are not those places. We became markas of tarbiyah. Allah. And because of that, the officers started to respect him. They granted him so many privileges. Allah. Subhanallah. See, you want to change people, not just by giving big lectures and big talks. It's about our character, our akhlaq, our personality, how we live our lives. SubhanAllah, Hazrat Yusuf والسلام, SubhanAllah, was a prophet, was a Nabi of Allah, SubhanAllah. And then again he showed his beautiful, not only was he just handsome, SubhanAllah, but his character was beautiful. Lofty character, SubhanAllah. Personality was amazing, and he has such an impact. Therefore, if you want to have impact on people around you, our character is very important. Make sure we are fair, we are just, we don't do zulm, make sure we are not cruel, but at the same time, very, very important that we are well spoken, we are polite, SubhanAllah. And in the prison, it became markas of tarbiyah. People who are ill, you look after them. People who are sad, you console them and comfort them. That is Islam. That is a beautiful teaching of Islam. So further on, he talks about the two other young prisoners that were sent to the prison, and they see the dream, and they're going to narrate the dream to Hazrat Yusuf والسلام. Inshallah, talk about that dream, the interpretation of the dream, inshallah, in the next verse. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a tawfiq to act upon the teachings of the Qur'an and grant us all such a character, subhanallah, that will have an impact on others as well, and be able to give us the tawfiq to show the beauty of Islam in our lifestyle. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdihi, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.